question of whether to pronounce National Electrical Code, or NEC, Section 700.12 as 700.12 or 700.12 is a common point of discussion among electrical professionals. While there's no official rule dictating one over the other, point is generally the more accepted and widely used pronunciation in the electrical industry. Here's why. Firstly, the term point is commonly used in mathematics and technical fields to denote a decimal separator. Since code sections are often structured with decimals to indicate subsections or specific requirements within a main section, point aligns with this established convention. Secondly, the term dot can sometimes be ambiguous, especially in technical contexts. While dot is used in other areas, such as internet addresses or email addresses, point is less likely to be misinterpreted in the context of code references. Thirdly, professional practice favors point. When electricians, engineers, and inspectors communicate about code requirements, using point helps ensure clear and concise understanding. It reduces the potential for confusion and maintains consistency in technical discussions. While it's not incorrect to use dot, it's more practical to adopt the commonly accepted pronunciation of point to facilitate effective communication with others in the electrical field. Consider the analogy to other technical documents. Engineering drawings, for instance, use decimal points extensively, and it is customary to say point when referring to those values. The NEC is a technical document, and similar conventions apply. The importance of clear communication in the electrical industry cannot be overstated. Misunderstandings about code requirements can lead to errors in installation, which can have serious consequences for safety and compliance. By using a standard pronunciation like point, professionals can minimize the risk of misinterpretation and ensure that everyone is on the same page. Remember that the NEC is a legal document in many jurisdictions. While pronunciation might seem like a minor detail, clarity and precision are essential when interpreting and applying code requirements. Using point contributes to this clarity. In summary, while both point and dot are understandable, point is the preferred and more common pronunciation of decimal separators in NEC section numbers. It aligns with technical conventions, reduces ambiguity, and promotes clear communication among electrical professionals. As a practical tip, listen to how experienced electricians, engineers, and inspectors refer to code sections in meetings, training sessions, and on-job sites. You'll quickly notice that point is the predominant choice. Adopting this practice will help you communicate effectively and confidently within the electrical community. Consider the broader context of technical language. In many technical fields, precision in terminology is critical. While everyday language might allow for some flexibility, technical communication demands accuracy. The choice between point and dot in the context of code sections reflects this need for precision. The use of point is not merely a matter of preference, it's a matter of adhering to established technical norms. In addition to promoting clear communication, using point also demonstrates professionalism. It shows that you are familiar with the accepted conventions of the electrical industry and that you are committed to accurate and precise language. This can enhance your credibility and build trust with colleagues and clients. Finally, remember that the NEC is a constantly evolving document. New editions are published every 3 years, and changes are made to existing sections. Staying up to date with these changes is essential for all electrical professionals. When discussing these changes with others, using point will help ensure that everyone is referring to the correct section. Now consider a few practical examples of how this pronunciation would be used in everyday conversation among electrical professionals. Imagine an electrician saying, according to section 210.8.5, GFCI protection is required for receptacles in dwelling unit bathrooms. Or an electrical inspector might say, I found a violation of section 314.16.c.1. The box fill calculation is incorrect. In these examples, the use of point clearly indicates that the speaker is referring to a specific subsection within the main code section. The alternative, dot, would be less clear and potentially confusing. Furthermore, imagine attending a code update seminar where the instructor is reviewing changes to the 2023 NEC. The instructor might say, The new requirements for surge protection in dwelling units are covered in section 230.67.b. Again, point is the natural and expected pronunciation in this context. One might also think about how electrical engineers communicate when designing electrical systems. An engineer might write in a specification, all wiring shall comply with NEC section 310.15.b.16. This written example reinforces the idea that point is the standard term for denoting decimal separators and code references. The importance of precision in this context extends beyond just pronunciation. It also applies to the way that code sections are written and referenced in documentation. Always be sure to include the full code section number, including the decimal points, to avoid any ambiguity. For example, instead of saying section 210, say section 210.8 to indicate that you are referring to a specific subsection. Another important aspect to consider is the role of technology in the electrical industry. With the increasing use of software and mobile apps for accessing and interpreting the NEC, the ability to quickly and accurately locate specific code sections is essential. Using point when searching for code sections in these applications can help you find the information you need more efficiently. Moreover, it is important to recognize that while point is the more common and preferred pronunciation, there may be regional variations in usage. In some areas, you may still hear people using dot. However, even in these areas, point is generally understood and accepted. Therefore, it is always a good idea to use point as your default pronunciation to ensure clear communication with the widest possible audience. The choice between point and dot is a small but significant detail that can have a real impact on communication and professionalism in the electrical industry. By adopting the common practice of using point, you can contribute to a more accurate and efficient flow of information and demonstrate your commitment to the highest standards of technical excellence. Remember that the goal of the NEC is to safeguard persons and property from hazards arising from the use of electricity. Clear and accurate communication about code requirements is essential for achieving this goal. By using point when referring to code sections, you are helping to ensure that everyone involved in the electrical industry is working together to promote safety and compliance. Consider the implications of miscommunication in a high-stakes environment, such as a hospital or a data center. In these settings, even a small error in electrical installation can have serious consequences. Clear and precise communication about code requirements is essential for preventing such errors. Using point is a simple way to reduce the risk of misinterpretation and ensure that critical electrical systems are installed correctly. The prevalence of the pronunciation point also reflects the influence of education and training in the electrical industry. Many electrical apprenticeship programs and vocational schools teach students to use point when referring to code sections. As a result, this pronunciation is widely adopted by new generations of electricians and engineers. In contrast, the use of dot may be more common among older generations of those who have not received formal electrical training. However, even in these groups, the trend is towards using point as the industry standard. This trend is further reinforced by the widespread availability of online resources and training materials that use point exclusively. These resources help to disseminate the correct pronunciation and ensure that everyone has access to the latest information. The key takeaway is that while both terms may be understandable, one carries more weight in professional circles and is less open to misinterpretation. By leaning into the use of point, you are not only aligning yourself with established practices, but also contributing to safer and more precise communication within the electrical domain. Remember that the National Electrical Code is not just a set of rules. It is a comprehensive system of standards and practices that are designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. To understand the NEC fully, it is important to go beyond simply memorizing the code requirements and to develop a deeper understanding of the underlying principles. This includes understanding the importance of clear and accurate communication.